If I had $1,000,000, what I would buy first? Ooh.
I think I'd buy a lake house.
Ooh.
That would be if I had $1,000,000, that's what I would buy first. I'm like obsessed. That's like what I do in my like spare time right now is go on Zillow and find
Lake houses.
lake houses, yes. And like from like something completely out of my price range, of course.
You're like,
Of course.
let's just move that little toggle up to $10 million.
Right? No min, no max,
you know,
just all the way.
bedrooms 12. It's fine. Bathrooms 36.
I don't need that, but I want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been This Summer I Turned Pretty just came out,
Yes.
season 3.
Yep.
No spoilers, I swear.
I watched it already.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I know I already know how it ends, but anyways, go
We
ahead.
all do.
Yeah.
Well, at least we know how it ends in the book, right?
Yes.
But that is the type of like beach house a girl can dream about.
Yeah.
Like going to cousins with like on the river. Oh my gosh, I would love
that. I was actually like looking up. I'm like, where was it filmed? It was filmed in South Carolina.
It was?
Or no, I'm sorry, not South, North.
North?
North Carolina. Yeah.
Okay. You know
But
what?
it's based out of Cape Cod.
Yeah, because they're up like on the East
It's
Coast,
like
right?
it's supposed to be close to Boston.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
That would be the
That's the
dream.
dream. That is the dream. Like that house is definitely more than $1,000,000.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's probably in like the double digits.
For sure.
And it's adorable. So I would definitely can see that. Or like if I had $1,000,000, one of the things I've always wanted to do is like live in a like Hallmark town, like in a smaller town, like
Yes.
and have that money to be like whatever I wanted to do and
Yeah.
live the slow life and not worry. I guess $1,000,000 really doesn't go far.
No, it doesn't. I guess it depends where you go. So like if it's a small town, like a Hallmark movie, small town, I think that you'd be okay. You could probably like own the town.
I
if
could
you
be the
wanted
mayor
to.
of the town.
You could be the mayor. You can buy your mayorship.
The city slicker moved in, quit her corporate job, and now she's the mayor of the small
so
town.
you can actually just create your own Hallmark movie.
Oh, a girl can dream about that too.
Yeah.
Like a Virgin River type of small town. Like if you've
Yes.
seen Virgin River,
Oh,
that
yes.
is like where, like in a little cabin, just like, and that's slow living.
Yeah.
You don't
I
have
know,
to
I'm all
worry.
about those shows right now. I watched what's it called? Sullivan's Crossing.
Yep.
Same kind of premise, just like Virgin River.
Yeah. It's,
So sappy.
I
But
love
like, why do I love it so much?
listen, there's just something about romance and small town. We were actually, I was on a work call with like a vendor that was trying to sell me something, and the guy's name was Easton.
Okay.
And I was like, I've never heard that name before. And I was chatting with my friend on, offline, and I was like, Easton sounds like a Hallmark movie character
I was
name.
gonna say I can fall in love with Easton.
Right? Like Easton, high profile New York City lawyer who gets fired and his girlfriend breaks up with him. So he gets a job in the middle of nowhere and meets like Kaylee, the rancher, and I was like, that's what that name is like.
100%.
And I would totally watch that or read that book.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like I said, the main character, one of the main characters in Sullivan's Crossing, his name's Cal. And he was a lawyer.
They're always lawyers. Like, I feel like when you watch a Hallmark movie, you get like, very corporately successful woman who's either like a doctor, a lawyer, a interior designer who owns her own firm, right?
Yep.
Like a publicist. And then they move and meet, lumberjack, Billy Bob. And he's the bachelor of the town.
Swept off of her feet. Yes, every time. And it's the same story over and over again. We still watch it.
Well, think about it this way. Like, we grew up around like the Gilmore Girls-esque, like, Luke and Lorelai. Like we had all of this kind of growing up. And I think it's just been ingrained in us of this like, Sweet Home Alabama. Like you think about all these movies and you're like, same premise, just a different flavor.
Yeah, 100%.
And Hallmark makes millions of dollars on these movies.
I mean, there's a whole season just dedicated to just Hallmark. And it's Christmas in July right now, right? So we should just do a marathon and just start watching all of them.
There's a girl that I used to work with who used to watch every single new Hallmark Christmas movie that came out, and she would write reviews about it. And she had like basically like this Rolodex of a blog. And so when we were on calls and we'd be like, oh my gosh, do you remember this Hallmark movie? She would literally just be like, type, 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 type. And then she would give like, oh, I ranked it. She had like her own rating scale, like, like 8 Bs, means that it was great. Right. Like, and I'm like, man,
there's got to be a following for that.
Oh, 100%. Come on. Like I love looking at ratings of shows, but Summer I Turned Pretty Cousin's House. Yes. Give me 5 of them.
Yeah.
Around the world. All right, let's get started.
Sasounds good. Well, welcome to Lap It Like It's Hot with Monica and Milena. So we are going to recap our doubleheader of Iowa. Lot of things that happened. So much action. Finally, we got a Pato win.
Oh my God.
We've got a Palou that lost horribly, which was so much fun to watch. And Penske is still crying in the shadows. So we'll break down all of that events that happened. So, but first we're talking. So some news. So Iowa, do you think it's going to be dropped from next season, or what is going on?
There's been so much discourse in the online universe around Iowa. From my own personal experience, turning on the broadcast on Saturday for the first race and looking at the stands, I believe like there was maybe like 6,000 people there, and it looked bad.
Well, was it like the weather? Because it almost got like Wizard of Oz, like with all like with the tornado that like what I mean. So did that chase people away? Is it typically that little of a crowd?
No, I still think that Fridays are still very low attendance on some of these races because it's a Friday. It's also not in a metropolitan area, so people have to take off work. And also there was, a tornado or tornado adjacent looking thing.
And like super close. Was it like less than 5-6 miles away or something like that?
And everyone on the track was just like with their phones taking videos. Just like looking. And Will Buxton's like, that's the first tornado I've ever seen in my life.
No sense of survival skills in that sense.
No. They're like, seek shelter. What's that? Have you seen Wizard of Oz and Dorothy?
Yeah, right? No, they have not.
I do think that with Hy-Vee dropping out, this is just showcasing what a promoter can do for an event.
Yeah.
Like Post Malone has played concerts there. Like I do think that a lot of people were not IndyCar true like diehard fans, but would go to the race to see fast cars and to see kick-ass artists.
Whoever was gonna, so it was always like a high-profile artist, pretty much, right?
I think Carrie Underwood played one year. Like, I'm sorry, but like when Posty played, like he was huge, like, and it was packed, right? So I do think with Hy-Vee backing out, Iowa was kind of left exposed.
Yeah.
And Sunday's race wasn't even any better. I don't think that it will come off the schedule entirely, but I do think IndyCar needs to do better with promoting these types of events. They really did nothing to showcase promotion for it. They, even the Speedway in Iowa didn't really do much, promotion of it. And it just seemed like an afterthought because I think they were expecting it to be like the Hy-Vee event where there would be, 12, 15,000 people. From a fan perspective, if you had garage access, you probably had amazing one-on-one time with a lot of these drivers because there weren't that many people. But viewership also sucked. It wasn't just people sitting in the stands.
Yeah.
Like it was 500,000 people watched race one.
And it's got to be, I don't know if it's like a location thing, but you're right. It needs to be better promoted. But because like it is like, what else does Iowa have except corn?
It's corn.
It's corn. But like really, I think IndyCar just needs to be better about promoting these races because you do see, of course, the hype with the 500, with first race in St. Pete's. Those like more of like better locations, I guess, like are just going to have maybe just better viewership. So just Iowa just needs to be better promoted. I feel like any of these like Midwestern towns, like Ohio, I feel like maybe it could be the same issue.
Yeah, and I do think that since the repavement of Iowa, last year's race was a glorified processional. So if you're just a light fan of IndyCar and you saw those two races last year and you were like, man, what a snooze fest, I wouldn't want to watch it.
Sure.
There was a lot of discourse around the potential of making Iowa a night race, which I think would boost numbers.
I think people in general just like night races because it is, I don't know. Actually, I think on Off Track they were talking about like that everyone really would prefer an oval at night just because I don't know if it's just a little bit more exciting.
Looks
during
cooler.
the day. Like, you know, it just could be gross and hot in the sun.
Right.
It's just like a little bit more pleasant and I don't know, kind of cooler under the lights.
Yeah. Who wants to sit, in 95-degree, 100% humidity in the middle of the day if you can do something at night?
Yeah.
So I guess we will see. I don't think Iowa's going to go anywhere anytime soon. If they do something with it, I think IndyCar needs to step up and actually start marketing these tracks and also putting more responsibility on the promoters to do better. But I do think that they were like, yeah, people will still come because Hy-Vee did such a good job. It'll be fine. And it was not fine. So
Hy-Vee's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So
you got to take that and take it on the chin and say, we'll learn from it. But if you think about it, Milwaukee last year with the doubleheader was the same thing. There was no promotion for it.
And it was deathly hot.
Yeah. And people still showed up. Yeah. So it also might.
That area, though, I feel like it's in, what is that? The Wisconsin State Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
So like it's just built for that.
Yeah.
That type of crowd of people. And it is in the middle of like a residential like neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's going to draw a lot of locals, I feel like, because that's just like something to do versus Iowa. It's like, it looked like it was legit in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I don't even.
Nowhere cornfields, Iowa.
Drop a pin. Nowhere cornfields, Iowa. Like if you told me what major city do they race, race in Iowa, I'd be like, I have no idea. Iowa.
Name one city in Iowa. Des Moines is the only one that I can think of. Oh my God, I don't mean to roast you, Iowa. You have lovely people, I'm sure.
Davenport?
Is that
in Iowa?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yes, I think so.
I don't know.
I just know that Iowa State's there. So, the universities are there. It's very hilly when I've driven through it.
Yeah.
So, it's fine. We'll be good.
Cedar Rapids. You're right, Davenport.
Wait, Cedar Rapids is in Iowa?
I think so. I mean, apparently, according to ChatGPT here.
Man, my geography.
Sioux City, Davenport, you were correct. Waterloo. So, Dubuque.
Dubuque. We'll be fine. It's just Iowa. It's fine. The drivers had a lot to say. Rossi and Hinch were very spicy on the podcast about their overall feelings. And if you think about it, Alex Palou did win the second race. This dominance is for a series that only generates maybe a million or million and a half viewers a race. Yeah. People are going to get bored.
Yeah.
But in the midst of there not being an F1 race, we're kind of on this weird F1 break. I was surprised that not more like F1 fans like they did with St. Pete kind of meandered over.
Yeah.
But
again, I just think it's just like it's not well promoted and just
NASCAR was in Sonoma and they were on like TBS and they got 2.2 million viewers. So
Sonoma, I mean that sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, Sonoma, Iowa.
Yeah, agreed.
But some other things that came out of Iowa. So Nolan Siegel had a very hard crash in the first race, which spurred
scary, like very scary.
It came out of nowhere, and it spurred a lot of conversation around whether or not he was going to race in the second race, which he didn't. So I believe he had some sort of mild concussion, and a lot of conversation came out around who's going to race for Arrow McLaren if Nolan were not to. And Arrow McLaren selected Linus Lundqvist, who used to race for Chip Ganassi Racing.
I was going to say that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, to be the reserve driver. But it got me thinking about why IndyCar teams don't have reserve drivers.
Yeah.
Well,
there was this big conversation at the beginning of the season because two teams did announce that they do have reserve. One, oh my God, I blanked out.
Prema with Romain Grosjean.
Grosjean, yeah, that's right.
And RLL have Toby Sowery and Yuri Vips.
Yeah.
No one else has any reserve drivers.
Yeah.
And I understand like a Dale Coyne may not be able to afford to pay a driver's salary to have a reserve driver. But when situations like this happen, I am shocked that the Andretti's, the McLarens, the Ganassis, they don't have somebody to be like, hey kid, you're up.
Or just like a backup plan to be like, even like your your Indy Next. Just be like, maybe train one of those guys and be like, hey, you're hopping in.
Dennis Hauger can be Andretti's reserve driver, right? So it spurs the conversation of, you know, things like this are going to happen. Drivers may not be able to race or be cleared to race for multiple of reasons, right? But why don't they have some sort of reserve driver? And then it got me really thinking. I got into a reserve driver like whole
spiral
like the other day. The 500. So many of those drivers shunted, like, and they were cleared within. They're like, yeah, they're cleared to drive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I understand every hit is different and every body is different and how it reacts. But I'm like,
are they just not as careful? Do we think that like maybe they should not be driving and that's why they're like, eh.
Yeah. Or is it because it's the 500? There's the extra pressure of having to drive and perform.
Yeah.
But the crazy part was with Nolan. So Nolan is 21st in the championship standings, and leadership circle gets the top 22 drivers get it. Mm-hmm. So with him not starting the race, he was going to lose all of the entry points. Mm-hmm. So when you start an IndyCar race, you get 5 points automatically. Everyone does. There was a rumor that TK was going to get in the car just to start the race for that entry to get 5 points. And IndyCar was like, no, you are a team principal. Mm-hmm. You're not getting in to drive. And that's how desperate they were. And it's like, the joke was, oh, Connor Daly wasn't around because Connor Daly for the longest time was like the reserve driver for like
everybody.
All of the teams.
Like, and you would just fill in.
But Connor's racing, so hey, they had no one. But Nolan has been cleared to race for Toronto, so that's good. Linus is there just in case. Yeah.
Because the worst thing that would happen if like he got into another crash, heaven forbid.
Yeah, and they can't, with Nolan being so close to the cutoff line, they can't have that car not start another race.
Yeah.
And last year, Rossi broke his thumb in Toronto. And if we all remember, they had Théo Pourchaire come and sub for him. And he was in France. So he literally took a plane, a train, and an automobile to get to the track in less than 24 hours to hop in and race for Rossi because he had a broken thumb.
Interesting. So I wonder why. I don't know. That's very interesting. That and he was racing for McLaren last year, right?
Yep. So,
like, yeah, what happened that I guess, I don't know, maybe they tried and no one was available.
But, like, how? McLaren has so many drivers. I understand you got to get a seat fit and you got to do this, and there's stuff that goes into it.
Well, and it was a pretty short, I guess. Well, no, I guess within 24 hours, if, like, you immediately, you know if that driver's not going to drive.
Yeah.
Like, within, like, probably the first hour of that crash.
Oh, yeah. And, Teo was on like a yacht in the south of France. And TK basically called him, was like, hey, I know that we didn't sign you. We actually signed Nolan instead, but could you come race for us? And Teo was just like, sure. And then went to Toronto from the south of France to race for 2 days and then just left after that.
Interesting. Maybe that was too much of a bill for them. Yeah. Right, McLaren.
Bill it to Zach. He'll be fine.
Daddy Zach should be fine.
Yeah. But outside of that, after Iowa, there was a lot of buzz around Juncos. Their transporter caught on fire.
Which is crazy.
Which, could you imagine you're driving this giant machine with all these cars and all of a sudden there's just a fire.
And there's just kind of like fuel remnants everywhere.
And that could end so badly.
Yeah.
Thankfully, no one was hurt. Everyone was okay. But I think the silver lining was how all of IndyCar came together to make sure that they were okay. Mm-hmm. They are borrowing an Indy Next trailer for this week in Toronto. But like Andretti, McLaren, Ganassi, they're like, what do you need? How can we help you? And it was so nice to see that kind of community of being like, hey, we know that this is really scary and it's a back to back race week.
Right.
What can we do?
Yeah.
So that was nice.
I think my favorite comment was, I think Santino went too far. That he was behind the fire.
When I saw that on Reddit, I was like, whoever wrote that, gold.
Savage.
Thank you. Has anyone checked on Santino lately?
Yeah, right. Is he okay? Does he look guilty or does he have anything to say?
Does he have a little soot on his face?
Anyone check his hands for remnants?
Oh my God. He's like, I was only trying to get at Connor, but sorry Stingray, we got you too.
I saw the wrong car. I'm sorry, I thought it was a 6.
you know what? This is why sometimes I like the internet.
Yes, 100%.
But overall, like outside of TV ratings and attendance at Iowa, the races themselves were good.
Yeah.
I think they were entertaining to watch.
Yes, for sure.
Let's talk about maybe race 1.
Yeah.
So Pato finally won.
Yes, we were very excited to see Pato finally win something.
God.
Yes.
A Chevy finally won. Mm-hmm. So that was nice. The first Chevy, I think it was an all Chevy podium as well. It was definitely towards the end, I was like, oh my gosh, like Joseph Newgarden is right behind him. Is this giving me, 2024 Indy 500 PTSD? Mm-hmm. And Pato the team executed perfectly. He gained so much time on the outlap when he did an overcut, which normally doesn't work in Iowa. Mm-hmm. And he won. Yeah. Thank God. Goodness. He needed that on his 100th start, too.
On his 100th start, yep. And I know he had a cute interaction with, was it Scott Dixon's son?
With Kit.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Which was really cute. I don't know if you guys saw that on Instagram and stuff that they were doing. So it was super cute.
Apparently, after the weekend, he was they were on the plane, and Scott and his family were about to get on his plane, and Kit like ran into Pato's plane, and they took a photo with the trophy. So I think it's cute. So funny that his dad is literally the GOAT of IndyCar, and he's just like
he's a Pato fan.
Everyone's a Pato fan. Yep. It's like when Seb's like everyone's a Ferrari fan.
Yeah, everyone's a Pato
Even
fan.
The kids of goats are Pato fans.
100%.
And then for race 2, we had Alex Palou win, which I believe was by pure luck.
Yeah.
That was pure luck that Joseph and Pato got hosed at the end with the yellow.
Yeah.
But overall, Joseph is the king of corn country. I don't even know how he woke up the next day on Monday morning. I don't.
Someone, I'm sure, hopefully he needs to be checked on, or he's getting the therapy that he needs right now. He is just having a shit season.
Could you, he lost, I do think in race 1, he raced phenomenally. It was his race to lose, and he lost to Pato.
Yeah.
Okay. The second race, the fact that he was like, I'm up front. Oh, I'm in the back now. I got to work my way back up. Okay, I'm back here. Oh, I'm back again. And then I'm like, oh, I can win this with the next pit cycle because of this. The yellow falls. Mm-hmm. That race, I think, mentally probably scarred him for life.
Yeah.
And in that race, also, you had Will have a engine failure, and Scotty was out as well with a crash. So
somebody check on Penske, please.
At this point, And even in the media, I don't know if you saw the post interviews with Joseph. He was just like, distraught. Jack was trying to interview him, and he was just like, it was just a bad weekend. And there was a lot of people being like, well, he's being mean to the media, and he's being, part of his job is to, do the interviews and everything. And while I agree, you don't have to be mean to Georgia and to Jack or who's ever interviewing you, because have some respect, at least they're human beings.
Right.
But they interview him literally less than an hour outside of the car.
Well, and there was so much hype going into it that this is his race, that he's supposed to win this, and he didn't deliver.
No.
And then imagine they're just like, oh my God, you couldn't do it. Why couldn't you do it? And then, how I feel bad for athletes when cameras get in their face, the second that they do something wrong, or if they lose or something like that. And then people get on them. I'm like, well, if you have a bad day, do you want a camera in your face?
Right. No.
Absolutely not.
No. And he's still a back-to-back Indy 500 winner. He is still an Indy champion for the season. Penske is just having a tough time this year, and it's not just him. It's Scott, it's Will. They've all had their instances, but I do think Joseph puts so much stress on himself to perform and be the best that I think it's wearing on him.
Yeah. Well, stress was put on him too.
Yeah.
Just like I said.
And then attenuator gate, and last year was push to pass gate. This man has gone through a lot, and while he may have not handled everything perfectly, we have to also realize he's a human being.
Yep.
And the first race, I think he was kind of like, yep, Pato outdrove me, and they had a better strategy. But that second race, you can see he died a little bit.
Yeah.
You can tell and he tried to tongue in cheek it, he posted like, a book cover on I think it was on Instagram, or it's like, Joseph's bad day, and it's like whatever. Like he's trying to make like, kind of like cheeky, like everything's okay. The one thing I am interested of is if he's this down in the dumps now, next season, be very afraid. Joseph Newgarden's going to be coming with a vengeance.
Yeah. I always think about like our episode that we did about sports psychology and that how is he relying on that right now, or is that going to be an off-season thing that he's just going to dive into that therapy so much and try and get back in that mindset, because this can break you, really.
Oh, yeah. And not only is he struggling and has had horrible luck in the car, the entire organization has been in shambles ever since they fired the big three. And so if you have a bad weekend, you brush it off and you go to the next one. But when you go into the office the next day after a shit weekend and it's chaos and I'm assuming Roger is not pleased.
Yeah.
It's just you can't escape it. And then you do bring that home, right? And you carry on it. And now in this stint where it's literally like, after Detroit, it's just been like, race after race after race after race. The next break, I believe, is after Toronto. I think they have a week off before Portland. Like, he has had no time to even try to take care of himself.
Yeah.
And I feel for him for that, because he's not a bad person. He is an athlete, and yes, this is his job, but imagine you failing at your job every week and your boss telling you, what are you doing?
You're doing like double shifts and having to like go back to work and it's still a shit day every single day.
It's okay, Joseph, if you cry in your cubicle. It's fine.
Yeah,
like
we all do.
We've all done it. So
I've cried in my car before I got to work too. So it's okay.
Yeah. But I do think that if Joseph does have a good weekend, if a win happens, whatever, like I think that's all he needs. And with the end of the season being so oval heavy, we still have Milwaukee and we still have Nashville. I do think he's going to have an opportunity there to at least redeem himself, and see, if he can salvage the year to forget.
Yeah.
But overall, I do think that, outside of Penske, we need to talk about Andretti.
Again.
Yeah.
Let's take a wild guess. What happened again?
Tire failures, crashes,
shocker.
poor pit strategy. What a nightmare for Andretti.
Nightmare. Oh my gosh, I can't even. So I think I immediately text you, and I was just like, really, like again. What is their deal? Is it the curse? Is it they're not practicing? They're not on the same page? Is it bad luck?
I think it might be a little bit of everything. Kyle Kirkwood is clearly the strongest this season. And the only other driver that has been able to beat Palou multiple times, right? He's been having an okay season, but it's either he's up here or he's having the lowest of low days, right? Colton, that man will literally hit everything but the pace car at this point. And he's had some recovery drives, right, where he does make it to the top 10, whatever, but no one's been talking about him.
Yeah.
Like, ever since his pole, nothing.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it's devastating.
Colton, who? What's going on? Where are you?
Yeah.
And we don't talk about Marcus Ericsson because I don't think he deserves the seat.
He's all the way over there.
Yeah, he's 20th in the championship. He's almost on the cusp of losing leadership circle points, which is going to be so embarrassing. He's had horrible luck in some instances, but he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be really... So Toronto Colton swept last season. He was number one in all practices. He got pole and he won.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to do that this year.
Yeah.
But we'll see if at least Colton can salvage something out of this season. Like, this curse is so bad.
It's devastating.
Like, at this point, they don't need a monk. They don't need sage. I think they literally need to, like, go, I don't even know. Like,
a witch doctor. Just hire a witch doctor at this point.
Yeah. Go to Etsy, hire an Etsy witch.
There was an actress that I saw that she hired a witch to get rid of her like travel curses, because like every time that she travels, like something always happens to her. Think about that, Andretti.
A witch is probably not that expensive. You
Yeah.
can have them come in and just pull out whatever.
I mean, there's a ton of Italian superstitions, like the Italian witches that exist. So you can definitely find one. 100% probably where you're from, Mario, that you can find one, and clean whatever is happening.
It's just so bad, and it's really kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning of the season, like, it looked so hopeful. You're like, oh, like, okay, like, Colton looks good, Kyle looks good, the other one not so much, but it still felt as if, like, hey, like, they can take this to Palou.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, all right, Kyle's doing great.
Yeah. Let's focus on Kyle.
Yeah, and that's all they've been doing.
Yeah.
And so, but what was interesting about this race was all of the tire failures that Andretti had. All 3 cars had the same tire failure. So that is, in my opinion, I think that is a setup issue. Yeah. They set up the cars with too much downforce, which added extra pressure. So they're getting everything wrong.
Yeah. Well, feel traditionally they're not really great at ovals. They really shine more at road courses.
Yeah. And when you want to compete with the Ganassi's of the world,
you got to be good at both.
You got to. Because now Palou's good at all of them, which is really scary. Because if you think about it, they have Dixon and Palou now, and those two are good on super speedways, short ovals, regular ovals, road courses, street courses. Still, I think Andretti loves a street course, but you have to at least have one driver on your 3-driver team that is at least good at one of them.
Right.
And right now it's Kyle Kirkwood, and he's good on the streets. Yep. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Time will tell.
Yeah, but we can meander into Toronto a little bit. So, I love this race.
Yeah.
Downtown Toronto street race is always never disappoints. It's always a good race. Yeah. Colton won last year, like we just talked about. Christian Lundgaard won in an RLL in 2023. If we remember, that's when he was growing the mustache, and he's like, I am never shaving this mustache off until I win. And he finally won, and he shaved the damn thing off.
It's more of like a caterpillar, really, than a mustache.
Oh, Salic, a full Salic. Now I would love to know if Louis Foster or Christian Lundgaard had a better mustache, because they both had full Salics.
Yes.
So... and Dixie's won a handful of times, as well as Joe New and Will Power. So we'll see if Alex Palou can get on this list.
Yep, hopefully.
We will see.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm still polling for Colton. Hopefully that he can come into this weekend, because he, there is more hype for him because he did so well last year. So I don't know. That's. I'm just always gonna hope for him. I think it's my fault, this curse. Really, I have to. Maybe I should hire the witch.
You should start rooting for Alex Palou. We'll buy you a Chip Ganassi Racing t-shirt, and you'll be like full Alexed out.
Then we'll know.
Then we'll know. When we go to Milwaukee, you are not allowed to wear a lick of Andretti gear.
Okay.
You are required to wear an Alex Palou something.
Deal. And I'll just be like, I am a walking curse.
Great. They won't let us in the paddock now. They'll be like, ma'am,
no,
you need to sit next to the...
you need to go over there.
Yeah. The palm reader, that's where you belong. Go sit with her. Yeah. But the track itself, it's still a pretty long... Yeah. It's on the longer side of street courses.
Yeah. So it's 90 laps. So a total of 160, a little over 160 miles, 11 turns at 1.7 miles. So should be interesting to see.
Yeah.
So, and this is a street course, correct?
Yeah, okay. True street. Okay. And so you're going to be they're running the Greenwald tires, which are, they're going to have the 2 tire compounds with the hards and the softs. Mm-hmm. And it'll all come down to also fuel strategy and see how the yellows play out.
Cool. Plus there's that like hard 90-degree turn.
Yes. And there's always a lot of action there.
Yeah.
I believe, last year it was Toronto where Pato and Nolan crashed, and then Santino flipped over them. Yikes. So the streets are narrow. Some of the curves are very reminiscent of Detroit. Like, it's super narrow, like passing
is almost probably impossible. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
so qualifying is super important on where you qualify. But for me, I have Christian Lundgaard winning this. I do think that he's strong in Toronto. He's won there before in not great machinery. But you can't take out Alex Palou from this. And I think I agree with you. I think Colton will be the sleeper where no one's going to talk about him. And next thing you know, he's going to be like in second, vying for the win.
I'm hoping. Yeah. So that's my like I said, my positive vibes and tensions that are going to all go to Colton. But agree that Alex Palou, I think he's just like on a hot streak, and we can't count out what he's going to do.
This is record breaking in so many ways. Like we are now watching like true GOAT status be built by him.
He's definitely a great. Now he's being compared to Al Unser.
Yep.
Right. But just with the amount of wins that he's had, I think he's like approaching his record.
Yeah.
So
he's dusted Foyt's.
Yeah.
And that was in a different time where they weren't spec series, right? They had different chassis, different engine providers, all of that fun stuff. And so for Palou to do what he's doing in a spec series is incredible, especially in the year where this year he started this year by never winning on an oval. First oval he wins is the flippin' 500, and he's just capturing records like Max Verstappen did in his season.
Yeah.
Will he come back next season as strong? I don't think so. I think this is and if he does, oh God bless IndyCar. And
he's truly going to
they're going to be like,
Max.
please, we will pay you to not race next year. But we're watching greatness happen.
Yep.
And that's kind of weird to think about it. Like when we did our GOAT episode, we're looking down the list, and of course, the Scott Dixons and the Will Powers were on there as like notable mentions.
Yeah. But Alex was nowhere on our radar, really.
In 10 years, when someone does their GOAT IndyCar, top 10, Alex Palou is going to be on that list.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That is nuts to think about.
Because you look at the names on that list, and you're like, oh man, I would have died to be able to see, Mario race an IndyCar live, right? Now there's going to be kids that are going to be like, oh my God, I wish I was there to watch Alex Palou win it.
Yeah, and we've watched it happen a few times.
A lot of times. So we'll see what happens in Toronto. And then after that, we get a little bit of a break and we go to Portland. So that's going to be at least nice for the drivers to, go home, sleep in their beds.
I know.
Have Alex actually, be on dad duty with baby Ben. But
because he was complaining that he really hasn't had the opportunity to spend much time because now he's on this big stretch. And I think his max, the time that he spent with him was during May, which doesn't really count.
No.
So.
No. But what time is the race on Sunday?
The race is, so it'll be on Fox, and it's at 11 a.m.
Eastern or Central?
I believe this is
Central
time.
So 12 Eastern?
Yeah.
That's early.
That is very early.
Have these races, they've been earlier than later. Okay. So
I feel like it. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know.
So, with practice being tomorrow morning at, I believe it's at 10-ish.
9:30 tomorrow.
Morning.
Yep.
Heat's going to be a big part of it.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Temperatures.
Yeah.
So
but warm up. God, that's it's so early to start warming up at 7:30 in the morning before the race.
Okay, could you imagine? There's hotels and stuff. I understand that corner of Toronto is probably all just race fans, really excited to watch the race. Yeah. But imagine you're on a work trip and you're staying at the hotel, and all of a sudden it's 7:30 in the morning, and you just hear, vroom,
Well, are they Eastern time or are they Central time?
I believe they're Eastern.
Okay, so then it would be 8:30.
Still,
that's pretty early for a
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah. This is true.
And also, those teams gotta get to the track at 6, 7 a.m.
Yeah, unless they're just gonna sleep there. Who knows?
Just sleep on the streets.
Yeah, just sleep on the street. That's
enjoy your poutine in the morning and your Tim Hortons, and you'll love it. So we wanted to do a little fun thing at the end of the session where we talk about maybe an open-ended question. So Hinch mentioned that ever since the broadcast booth purchased a Nintendo 64, that thing now is a staple. It goes with them everywhere. And they have been playing GoldenEye and Mario Kart. And they're those are the only two games that they have. So,
Okay.
as a non-gamer, I've only played Mario Kart on N64. But are there any other games that you would want them to play or try to play on N64?
I mean, they have to have some sort of racing game, right?
True.
So, like, the first thing that I thought of was Cruising USA, right?
Should do that.
They should.
They should.
They have to do something like that, or like a classic Mortal Kombat.
You know, I feel like they should live stream them playing these games because I would love to watch
They would
them.
get destroyed, I bet, by some of the gamers that are around. That they would absolutely get just roasted. I mean, I don't know. Are they good at it, or are they just like they're just killing time?
I think they're just killing time, especially like during rain delays and stuff. Like I'm assuming Friday when it was like Wizard of Oz Tornado Con outside, they were probably just like playing Mario Kart in the booth, just like waiting for the weather to subside. I'm surprised they haven't played Mario Party.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a good game. Also, I think they need to get Georgia, Jack, and Kevin involved on this.
100%, yeah.
And
they need to, maybe they should start doing like brackets or something like that, and start doing like a competition or championship of like who's of what.
At the beginning of every season, they should have like not like a fantasy team, but like a something like that, and they can like report on it, being like, all right, so this weekend, Georgia won in Mario Kart, so she's moved up in the rankings.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a lot of fun.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe a good DraftKings betting action or something like that.
Oh my gosh. At this point, I feel like DraftKings is going to start adding like weather, like will practice be canceled or the race be postponed? And like there was probably somebody that was like, oh man, I wish I could bet on the weather for IndyCar races.
Yeah, probably. And probably that's a thing for sure.
But we'll see what happens in Toronto. We'll see if Colton has better luck and someone can. It'd be nice to see another winner.
Yeah.
Maybe Joseph Newgarden will just be like really angry and like, I am going to just win.
Yeah. And just
get out of my way.
We'll see.
And we'll see what happens.
Hopefully
and then
be a fun race to watch.
Yeah. And I hope that the IndyCar calendar comes out soon because we're almost in August and we still have no idea when, the races are, or if Mexico's happening or if Iowa's still on. And still no silly season updates. What's going on with Willie P?
Will Power. I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I've been looking up for updates, and there's nothing.
Nothing. Like, are they really dangling that carrot for this long?
Right.
Being like,
that's devastating for him.
Sucks. Just re-sign Will. We know you're going to. Right. Just do it. David Malukas can wait one more year or two more years.
Yeah.
There's no silly season, so give me a little bit more silly season news.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate it. If you liked what you listened to today, feel free to follow us on social at Lap It Like It's Hot on Instagram, BlueSky, and Threads. We're available on all of our listening platforms, so YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And if you ever have any questions, check us out. And we just got a TikTok. So follow us on TikTok and see our hot takes on TikTok, and we will see you soon, and we'll discuss Toronto and a little bit of Portland.
Awesome.
All right.
Sounds good.
See you, everyone.
Right. See ya.
Bye.